The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation.
The Foundation with Hart Grant is brought to you by Alive, Bahamas Bus and Truck, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, the Digital Transformation Unit, Lavinia Grill Foods, Mobile Garage Technologies, Popeyes, and Scotiabank.
There is hope. You're never hopeless. I know your world gets dark. You feel all by yourself. You think nobody sees you. But God sees you. And not only does he see you, he's been with you the whole time. How you think you got out of the last thing? He's so good. I wrote this song during the pandemic. I just really want to encourage everybody. Let you know this is not the end. It's just the intro to what God's about to do in your life. You're gonna be all right. Yeah. Song goes like this. It gets so hard, just trying to figure it out, finding out, trying to believe God, trying to watch the words of my mouth and stay on the route. Trouble come and go, even on the mountain high or the valley low, but never let your faith go. Please,
never let your faith go.
I've been there before, so confused, don't know which way to go. Stressed out, the world's so crazy, we might as well stay in the house. Fear trying to rise up. We got terrorists disguised, they look like us, but we know who we trust. Trust when I say that we gon' be alright. Tell them,
we gon' be alright.
That's your part right there, y'all say it with me. 1, 2, 3.
We gon' be alright.
Y'all sound good in here, the Tiny Desk choir, come on.
Alright.
Hey, one more time, say we gon' be alright. No matter what you're going through.
We gon' be alright.
Hey. We gon' be alright.
Be alright.
Tell them.
Alright.
Yeah. Whoa. In these last days, evil times will come and it's here today. Look at all the hate, senseless crime and murder every day. Human trafficking, racism, police brutality, bullying, rape, child molestation.
Show me your appearance of evil, I pray.
Let your kingdom come and let your will be done.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, The Foundation, on this beautiful Monday. Still beautiful. Don't fight me because I say beautiful and you feel a little damp. Pull your life together. It's a beautiful Monday morning. I feel revived, renewed, refreshed, restored. I don't know. I was feeling sick on Thursday, man. It was wild. I mean, I was feeling horrible. I don't know if you've heard my teeth kind of shattering, right? I'm sure I had like a little fever or something like that. But my kids, I don't know, make me a little sick. But I'm so happy to be with you today, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful Monday morning. Happy to be in the land of, oh my God, what am I doing? It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. Watch me, right? It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. Happy to be in the land of the living with you. Tuesday afternoon, guys. I'm so happy to be here with you. I'm hoping that you're having a good day. I'm hoping that you're here and I'm doing your thing. I kind of opened up the show today. I heard the song this morning, and I always love Ty Tribbett on Tiny Desk. If you guys fall onto YouTube, go check him out on Tiny Desk. It was an absolutely mind-blowing performance. He's always very good and innovative in being able to do his thing out there. So it's a brand new week this week, ladies and gentlemen. So happy to be with you. Make sure you pick up your papers today. The Guardian, just pick up your paper, $1. I know it's past midday, but you still need to be able to get that information in there. The Bahamas finishes second to Jamaica. This is the fourth time we finished second to that. And we got to be able to climb a little higher and get that goal with us, right? So that's one of the things that we definitely got to do. But I want to say congratulations to all those persons who not only medaled, but definitely participated in the Carifta Games here in the country and did such a wonderful thing. And all to those persons who actually showed up, I saw some beautiful pictures. I mean, from the oldest to the youngest out there being able to celebrate in beautiful Bahamian colors and celebrating, the life. We saw variations of colors also, right? Participating in the thing. So it was a wonderful thing to see all those persons actually participating like that. Guys, the line's going to be wide open today, but before we even dive into a conversation about what we're going to be talking about today, I have to say this. This is going to be 11 on April 10th, which is yesterday. Guardian Radio signed on as the Bahamas' first all-talk radio station. 11 years later, we remain the country's number one and most popular source of talk and news. We want to thank every single one of you for making this show, this station, the station that it is in terms of social recognition and being able to come here to consume all the information you need to know exactly what's what. This is the spot for fresh news, smart talk, all day right here at Guardian Radio 96.9. So we say happy birthday to us as we celebrate our 11th year and continue to go strong. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being able to participate in that. I don't know if Dwight can be able to, have a little, what we can do, have a little party. Dwight, talk to me about it, right? We can do like a little party or something like that. We're going to have a good time, guys, but I thank you so very kindly. The lines are going to be wide open today. I want to be able to hear from you. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, and anywhere from the family of islands, 300-5720. 300-5720. Right? So that's a brand new number. You see me just kind of mumble over that, right? 300-5720, right? 242-300-5720. You can still hit me up on the text line, 422-4796. Now, this is wild. I want to talk with this. Let's talk like this. If you're looking at GuardianTalkRadio.com, you see me wearing a little tam. Please, I didn't want my mole get wet, like old people tell you. I didn't want my mole get wet because I didn't feel I don't want to get sick. I don't like being sick. It is one of the most miserable feelings in the world. All weekend, I just sat still and just tried to get rid of this thing. I took more medicine than I needed to, I'm sure, right? I couldn't feel my toes at one point, but I'm so happy that I'm still right. I'm so happy that we're still here, but I'm getting over it. And I just want to talk like this because as I come to the pick up the papers today and checked it out, and we see that Bishop Fernandez in the paper, all right? You can read the article in the paper today, guys. Like I said, pick up your newspaper, The Guardian, and start to talk about the proposal to criminalize marital rape could lead to civil unions. Now, I feel as though that the conversation has had its social fill. Talk to me. Has it? Or at least can we just do it in micro doses, like incrementally? Because you're flooding socially. This cannot be the leading conversation over the next month and a half. We've shifted from immigration. The only thing from this juncture on is for us to have a conversation about the LGBT immigrant. This is the only, it is too much. This is just me, right? Whilst I think it's very important for us to be able to put this to the forefront and have good conversations as it relates to where we're going in the country, I think there could be an overkill. Is this an overkill? Talk to me about it. Give me a call. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 422-4796 is the 422-4796 is the text line. And like I said, 300-5720, 300-5720, anywhere from the family of islands, you can be able to do that. But I think the conversation has had its fill socially. I think that we have identified all the nuances, and the only thing we can do is kind of generate this kind of a phobia that we have kind of buried deep down within, and have these kind of conversations about the possibility of what can happen without it actually happening, right? If you read the article and go into the article, Bishop Fernando actually goes into what's happening around the region and the fact that we don't want to be the ones opening the door to a lot of these things. Let me read it. So he says, so marriage has been replaced with civil unions elsewhere, And we want to say that we're not going to be the one to open up the door. Even if you're going to say that's not the door that's being opened. Although Fernandez said that at one point, he was sharing the views of some of the segments of the local Christian church, he appeared empathetic in speaking out against the current proposed amendment. Now, I want to say a few things. And I'm hoping that we can leave this alone today. But I have to say this because I read this. And if you've been following me over the years, you know that I've always looked forward to being able to have good conversations with Bishop Fernanda. He's always been very transparent, forthcoming with his information. So I just had not had an opportunity to be able to bring him on this particular space just yet. But we will get to that. Now, very clearly, I want to be able to say this. There is a social shift that has happened amongst us. The hard and fast traditional men of the cloth that had holiness as a standard, that was the eternal standard for everything, whether it was your short skirt, whether it was what you sipped, whether it was a consideration of wine or whatever it was, the holiness was a standard. And as time shifted and these men sent their children off to school, and their children had an opportunity to be able to see how others within the faith lived and navigated this particular, and I use navigate as a very strong word here because for most of the conversations that came back, it was a navigation of their faith, their convictions, their belief, what they were taught in comparison to what they were seeing in those environments. I've spoken with a lot of pastors, and they said to me that when they went off to seminary, when they went off to school, you remember we tell you I talked to my son about the possibility of being able to go to seminary? He said to me, well, more than one person would say to me, Howard, seminary is a dangerous thing. You think you only can see, Bible stumpers and people who just reading and just ingesting the word of God. He said, the same darkness that you see in the regular colleges, the same drug use, the same concerns, the same issues, same sex, fornication and others that exist in these particular spaces. This is what the people tell me. I never been to Oral Roberts. All right? And as we look at younger pastors who've ascended to strategic positions of power in our country, who've ascended to the position of authority in our country, and even around the region, who've had an opportunity to be able to be taught in these particular spaces, there is a new age message. Talk to me. There is a new approach to this kind of sanctity and this solemn approach to be able to deal with Christianity and the concept. So when I hear the reporter indicated that he feels rather sympathetic or empathetic towards this particular plight, it is as a result of the exposure globally. Not to say that these men shouldn't have gone there. This is what's happening. So my question is whether or not this is going to shift the view of the convictions that existed at the foundation of the Christian Council. I want to talk about that. April 28th, just confirmed, we're going to have a great opportunity to be able to talk with none other than Pastor Mario Moxie. I'm very excited about that, to be able to have that conversation. I'm not getting a lot of politicians. I don't know why. A lot of them is telling me, Howard, we can't, I can't make it. Oh man, I can't do this. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm not going to fight you. I'd rather talk to you than talk about you. Man, talk to me. I'd rather talk with you and really be able to get to conviction. And what is the reluctance? Let's have a very clear conversation. So I want to know about that. I want to know whether or not there is this sort of a strength and conviction to kind of move forward and make a decision as it relates to the Christian Council without shape-shifting to be able to ensure that you accommodate the sentiments and the views of everything and everyone else around you. I want to do that. I want to do that. Because I'm the old-time Bible-thumping preacher that has been called by God and ordained by God, who carried holiness as a standard, who preached fire and brimstone in the church, has shifted. The evangelism has shifted in our community. Listen, I never tell you all I won't make this like a churchy situation. But if we're going to start to talk about the convictions of who we are as a nation, and we're going to be able to always kind of place that at the backdrop of our Christianity or the Christian values that we carry, we're going to have a very clear conversation as to whether or not this is really changing. And so we're going to keep beating at it. The fact of the matter is that homosexuality, the LGBTQ community, has stepped out of that proverbial closet from the 80s. After they see themselves continuing to be able to pass away as a result of HIV and AIDS, and they embrace these particular things and say, hey, we're going to live our best lives now. We're going to do the things that we have to do now, accept this particular position. Look at the world, here I am. All those of us in this kind of a world of faith, Christianity, we took a backseat to it. And so now there is, because I'm looking all over. I mean, listen, the debate is all over the social media handles, right? It's all over TikTok. It's all over Instagram. And I continue to be able to go down this rabbit hole to find out whether it's the suicide rate for those who's transitioning. I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, this is wild. This is wild. And the only thing that I do not see is conviction on the side of faith. The only thing that you do is, well, God is love and we don't want to reject you and so forth and so on, but there's no standard being lifted. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about whether or not there should be a standard being lifted. And that's the reason why I had that conversation. That's the reason I spoke the way that I spoke over the past few days. Last week being Holy Week, and we're going to wrap this up, so we're going to get into politics and whatnot this week. I know you want to do that. We're going to talk about the economy. I invited one of my very good friends. I'm still waiting for him to kind of give me a confirm to be able to come tomorrow. So we're going to talk about some economics tomorrow, all right? About the country, the GDP, so forth and so on, and how things are doing here in Nassau, in Grand Bahama, and in Abaco. So we're going to have a very good conversation. But for this conversation to lead, again, beyond Carifta, this is a conversation that's been carried over for the past 2 weeks. I just need to know. I just need to know whether or not is this going to be relentlessly being able to give statistical facts and information without being able to put your convictions to the forefront. That's it. And that's all we want. That's all I want. That's all I'm looking for. Whether or not the Christian Council is going to stand strong and take on a strong position and say, this is what the Church of God stands for in the Bahamas. If that's what you can say, then let's go. Because many of us don't have a refuge anymore. We don't. We don't have a safe place, a safe haven anymore to be able to take our children and enjoy ourselves. There is debauchery at almost every level. You turn on your television, you're bombarded by the thing. Talk to me, right? I turn on YouTube, I can't even let my son watch YouTube. Every time I turn my back, I hear SpongeBob saying something weird. This is not the regular SpongeBob. What is going on? I'm bombarded by the thing. I try to watch a nice movie for 13. I watched, I thought The Kissing Booth was nice with my daughter, right? So I'm starting to watch it. And this girl at 13 years old talking about having sex. This was wild to me. I said, no, baby, this is inappropriate. I said, this is inappropriate. I thought this was a good one. I am bombarded every single step I take when I try to have family time. Whether I go out to one of the locations here in Nassau, I'm confronted with it yet again. Where is there a safe space, a safe haven that could be a replica of the traditions that we carry, that we care for, that I can point to my children and say, hey, listen, this is what we do. And the church is morphing every single day. Nobody won't touch that. Everybody won't be gentle with that. Nice and easy and smile with me. Huh? They want to, yeah, well, it's very important that they want to be nice and easy. But the church is morphing right before our face. And whilst you're preaching to us transformation, transfiguration, be ye transforming your thinking, you're looking for talent, but no conviction behind the thing. I'll have a good conversation with you guys. 323-623-325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of violence. You can be able to text me 422-4796, 422-4796, or hit me up 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Let me see if I can read a few of these texts before we get out of here to take our first commercial break. It says, love this song. It got me through rough times. Okay, you listened to the song before. Yeah, man. Say I love you, but say I know, buddy. Today is Tuesday. I thought it was Monday. Forgive me, right? Say definitely an overkill. Before we teach our children to accept the LGBTQ, we need them to accept and understand autistic and mentally challenged children, who they will also come into contact with in the wider world. Also, accept their brown skin will be judged, and teach them self-pride, not sexual pride. We have this thing all wrong. I agree with you. Let me take the first telephone call. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Howard Grant.
Hey, what's up, Grant?
Happy Easter.
Same to you, man.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but isn't it illegal to give alcohol to minors?
Yes.
Isn't it illegal to do many things to minors?
Yes.
I won't list them because some of them are sexually offensive to some people.
I know where you was going, but it's illegal. Amen.
There you go. Is it not illegal to tell a minor that they can do certain things to their body? Some people say mutilate.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not illegal without them at 18 being of sound adult mind to make that decision for themselves? But aren't they under the protection of their parents?
Yes. Or a guardian.
A guardian.
Mm-hmm.
And so if someone allows a minor that's not fully developed, according to the law, until they're 18?
Mm-hmm.
16 in our country? Which is a shame.
Mm-hmm.
How can this happen? Is my only question. Now, I'm contemplating, do I identify as a knife, spoon, or fork with this tasty food in front of me? What do you recommend? Howard, I got it. Hey, y'all got a crazy world where y'all got to deal with it. But I tell you one thing, it's only just starting. Go read the book of Revelation.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, Graham. Thanks so much. Guys, give me a call, please. Give me a call. Listen, I think we kind of poke fun at this, kind of identify as this or I identify as that, when in reality, a lot of persons are taking on this very strong position. And I think it's geared out of emotion and perpetuated by capitalism and money-hungry hogs. There's no two ways to say that. This idea is perpetuated by capitalism and money-hungry hogs. That's just what it is. That allow you to be able to mutilate your child at the age of 7. Okay. When I was in high school, I did not know what I was in high school. I did, because when we came into primary school, then you kind of forge yourself. You try to identify yourself and strengthen yourself to know exactly what your skills were and say, okay, I'm good at this. By the time you hit 7th, 8th, 9th grade, you try to figure out, okay, which path I'm going to take. Okay? That changed for a child almost 8,000 times. I want to marry Michael Jackson. I want to marry Kobe Bryant. I want to do little girls. Right? I want to be a basketball player. Oh man, I want to be a movie star. Oh man, I want to be He-Man. This is the mind of a child. Ever shaping and shifting to the next progressive popular thing. And to make a permanent decision like this, I think the parents should actually be locked up. Let's take a telephone call. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Howard, how you doing?
I'm good, man. What's happening with you?
Hope your family and everybody had a good holiday weekend and I enjoyed all the career and all the action.
Yeah, man. We relaxed for the majority
all
of the
the
weekend.
beaching, all the party, and all the fun. I heard we still had 3 killings over the holiday. But
Yeah, I'm looking in the paper right now.
yeah, I was thinking it was rather quiet. I didn't hear but much accident running in the lamp pole and see the trees and things. So the streets seemed a bit safe. But whatever, we came through it, those that made it through. And congratulations once again to everybody that was involved with the Carifta. I couldn't get out, but I enjoyed the coverage on TV. Okay, everybody with our athletes look like they really gave their best. Look like all of them remembered God and their coaches and their families and their guardians. It's like a speech when every time they have the interview, everybody saying the same thing. I thank God, my coach, my mother, my father, my guardian.
Well, that's the script. You got to get it.
Yeah, everybody got that. Everybody got God in there now, but it's a Christian nation.
Yeah.
But, something, this might sound hilarious if you give me a moment, but 3 weeks ago I fell, I had a bad fall on some steps, and I ended up breaking some bones in my right hand. Okay, after that fall, 2 days later, I saw the swelling. I went, got all the x-rays and everything. And a friend of mine that did all the x-rays and everything took good care of me. Now I needed the hand to be put in a cast or a splint. So now they referred me to a particular doctor. Now, I don't know, this fellow just come back from years of study. But I'm a senior citizen, and this is on my conscience for 3 weeks. Today is the day I'm supposed to get this cast removed now. But listen to this, Howard. I went to this place, sat in the lobby for about a half an hour waiting to see the doctor. That charge was $185. Now I went to see the doctor and I told him that when I did the x-rays, they forwarded everything to his computer so he could see the broken fingers. Okay, he did that. He came and he said, okay, I got to put a splint. I said, I was told you had to do that. So he put the splint in there. It's not a real cast. It's just a splint. Wrapped up with gauze. You know what gauze is, right? Like a cloth thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, Bob does that. Did that. He said, come back in 3 weeks. Now I got to go pay. When I reached the thing, the woman said $800. I said, what? Now you got to send me to get the pharmaceutical thing for the pain. What's going to last? Because I'm going to have some pain with that cast. So when I went to the pharmacy, I said, let me ask you a question, Mr. Pharmacist. These gauze here with the man got on my hand, how much they cost? He said, one of them cost but $1.25. I said, well, I saw the man use 2 of them. That was $2.50 there. I said, that roll of tape that he used to put on and keep that in place for that. That's $2. So that's $4.50 for the gauze to wrap the split up. But the bill was $800. I say, $800 for a $4.50 piece of gauze and everything like that. I'm a senior citizen. I told my other doctor, but he said, boy, you got robbed. That doctor must be trying to move into Old Fort May in a hurry.
Wow.
That, eating and going to medical practitioner around this country is very expensive,
Wow.
It's very, very expensive. I don't know how we can survive the onslaught. I don't mean to be complaining. I understand you got to pay back for all the years you went to school, but you don't take it out on the people, man.
My God.
Have a good day.
Thank you, man, Sparky. Listen, I got a couple calls this weekend also. Before the weekend actually started, I think it was last Thursday, I got a call that says that how we have to be able to expand that conversation as it relates to NIB, to find out exactly what's going on with NIB, the position thereof, and be able to dive deeper into that so persons could be aware this new transition that's happening in that particular space. So we're going to do that and reach out to one of those persons to have that kind of a conversation with us as soon as possible, as soon as humanly possible to do that here. Let me take this next telephone call. Calling on the line with us live. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. I guess you hung up. All right, guys, please stick and stay with us, man. 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation. The lines are open, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere for the family of islands, 242-300-5720. That's 5720, 300-5720. Or hit me up on the text 422-4796. We're going to take this commercial break and be right back after this.
Ready to step into the future? From your front door to the backyard and everywhere in between. See and speak to whoever's there with Ring Video doorbells and security cameras now available at Alive. Protect what matters most, all from one easy app, available in your Google or Apple Play Store. Visit bealive.com/ring to learn more. We are alive.
Jet off to the basketball playoffs with your Scotiabank credit card. You could be courtside in the middle of the action with an all-expenses-paid trip, plus airfare, spending money, and accommodations to the next basketball playoffs. Just apply for any Scotia credit card, spend $120 or more on a purchase, or use our Scotia Select Pay installment plan to win a slam dunk trip to the next basketball playoffs, courtesy of your Scotia credit card. Visit bs.scotiabank.com for more information.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
At Bahamas Bus and Truck Company Limited, we provide vehicles known for quality and durability. From the iconic Jeep Wrangler to the award-winning Grand Cherokee, we've got your everyday driver covered. For larger tasks, our Ram 1500, Mitsubishi Fuso Canter trucks, CMC Verica vans, and Fuso Rosa jitneys do way more than just deliver. We even carry a wide variety of pre-owned vehicles. To keep you going, our parts, service department, and body shop can accommodate our brands and others. Call us today at 322-1722 or email info@bahamasbus.com.
Guardian Radio and the Foundation are on the move.
Bahamas, this one's for you.
SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Every Thursday, the Foundation with Howard Grant will highlight small businesses throughout the country, far and wide. Your products, services, prices, and personality. We want to hear it all. Get your 30 or 60-second advertisement heard on air at a fraction of the cost. We here at the Foundation understand the times and don't want you to be left behind. With Guardian Radio, you reach your specific demographic and it is unmatched.
We reach thousands daily.
Get your products off the shelf and your services in their hearts. Small Business Thursdays with the Foundation, only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. For more information, call 302-2300 or the Help Me Howard line at 827-0111. SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Get your business moving today.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant in your company, the Foundation on this beautiful Tuesday. I mean, forgive me, I didn't show the whole Monday on you. Forgive me. This is going to be a short week, so it's going to be a quick dash to the end of the week, and I'm hoping that you're doing well out there. The line's going to be wide open today, ladies and gentlemen. It's just, whatever you want to talk about, just do that. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, or hit me up on the text 422-4796, anywhere from the family of islands. Toll-free number, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. We can be able to do that. Some text here. Let me see if I can read one or two of these. It says, "Good day, Howard. Things have changed big time. You have men of the cloth not being as holy as they should. See, I can speak because I've been around them. Some smoke, some drink, some enlarge, some are homosexuals. And a list goes on and on. It upsets me to see how things going in the body of Christ. And I'm a little bit disappointed, but we keep holding on. All right. There's a text that's coming through. There's another one here. This is Howard. Stay home when you're sick, man. This is, but did you see the TED Talks on pedophiles? It says it was a young lady talking about understanding and making pedophiles feel less safe. Whoa, right? This is a lot. Guys, let's take a next telephone call. There's a call on the line. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hey, good day. What are you doing?
I'm good, man. What's happening with you?
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm just as baffled and a little out of the way. But how would us as real men and females on this planet, we have to stay focused? Our numbers are dwindling in terms of heterosexual relationships and stuff like that, because these things that we see happen is a one world order, gay agendas and stuff like that. We give them an inch and they take a mile.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't satisfied with this, they ain't satisfied with that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're attempting all kind of things. And when it comes to the pastors, the only thing I could quote is a song that Ronnie Butler sang. There are pimps in the pulpit. 9.5 out of 10 of them, pimps in the pulpit, robbing the congregation of every dime. Pimps in the pulpit, and this should be considered a crime, what they doing to their parishioners. And as for the long-winded callers, man, you got to get on glass for 2 minutes. So when you turn that upside down, instead of them going all over the place and talking about all kinds of things too long, you tell them time, cut off time. All right?
Who's selling the glass? Where can go and get the glass from, man? Let me go pick up
Man, you need to go to one clock place or one watch place, man. Get something. When you press that, the alarm go up too long. Boom, off. Take too long, man.
All right, that's my brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate your telephone call.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Thank you, man. Thank you so very kindly. Guys, let's kind of shoot straight today. I mean, there's a text that came through and say, Howard, what a lazy topic. This topic is only going to turn into gay bashing and whatnot. Yeah, okay, let me tell you how I view conviction. It has not been easy, especially as a poor black man, to stand firm on something. It is not an easy thing. And I think we can see the examples around us on a day-to-day basis here in the country. It is not easy standing and say that this is the thing that I believe in. This is the thing that I will continue to be able to push towards to see change in this country. That's not an easy thing. See, the tradition of the country, how it works with a great deal of men of old politicians, they understand the nature of the environment. They understand the economic gooey geysers that exist that'll pop you up out of nowhere, boof. And the little thing that you were saving, you have to kind of scrunch to make something happen. They know that. They know that the environment is rich. Talk to me. Rich with proverbial quicksand, trappings. They know that. They've navigated the environment. They know exactly the track road to get around to it. And they found success. And so as you pursue success as a young, black businessman, entrepreneur with this sort of a desire to be able to get into politics or whatever you want to do, in your pursuit to, they call you striving. It sounds good. They say, you're such a striving young man, right? So they watch you. They don't necessarily assist you. They watch you. So they can say, boy, I've been watching you for a long time. Tap you on your back as you climb this proverbial stair, right? But the issue is this. This environment, though rich with these particular things, has its faults. Right? And if we have this kind of a conversation about the fact that, okay, I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to talk about that, are we good? No. The conversation for me has always been about conviction. About there is an easier way, I can be able to take the hand of someone who is offering me, hey, Howard, here's the golden nugget. Here's this, here's that. Step off this particular path to do whatever you have to do. Just, Howard, you got to survive. That's one of the things that they say. That the forerunner of the conversation is, Howard, you got to take care of your children. Howard, you got to survive. You got to make a decision, which is a weird thing for me. So it says to me that survival and conviction can coexist. That's what it says. It says to me that if you're going to hold fast and steadfast to your convictions and the things that you believe, if this is your faith, then you may not necessarily be able to eat. And those men who are supposed to be men of the cloth, men of valor, socially elevated persons who understand the ways of this particular world that we live in, they watch us. And they say, all right, just give him a little bit of time. He can drop this conviction. And then we could get him to use it for whatever. Let's be very clear about this. This has nothing to do with bashing anyone. The conversation relentlessly that comes out of my mouth is a conversation as to whether or not we're going to loose our convictions, our positions, the traditions that made us who we are, and stay this particular course, or stay this particular course. Let's be very clear about that. Stop being consumed with this kind of an idea that we're going against someone. Why can't it be being able to reaffirm where we are? That's a question that I have for you. And I put that on the table. Is this really about bashing someone else or looking deep within ourselves and saying, we are stronger than this? The time between the 80s and now is only time. How have we lost our convictions? How have we lost our strength and our position? How have we allowed every external element in the world to come in and shift us from the ground that we stood on to say that this is the path that we're going to take? This has nothing to do with bashing anyone. And so the question I always have, because this would not even be a conversation 25 years ago, not in this country. And you can't say to me that, oh, Howard, things are changing. I accept that, man. Things could change externally all the time. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But this space here, this quote unquote haven, this place that we call home is a place of sustainability. This is the place that we desire to be able to have, that we could say, okay, this is familiar. I know what this is. Let's take a telephone call. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Howard.
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
I certainly, trying to wonder exactly what you're talking about.
Why you say that?
Okay, look at this. In the past, right, the church brought the conversation to the public.
Okay.
Okay?
Give me past. You got to give me timeline. Don't just say in the past. Give me timeline.
Okay. Let me put it down clearly then. Okay. We lost this conversation in the mid 70s when the church stood by and let Carlton Francis be crucified. Okay? Ooh. Now, that's more than 40 years ago.
Ooh.
Okay? This erosion has been gradual. Anytime a political party can make an appointment to a board or a taxi plate or some crown land, they silence persons. And these persons lose their voice. Now, we got a problem that is not too apparent, right? But the persons who are bringing this conversation, in a sense, have already won this battle. Okay? And we have a picture now of how warped and messed up this world is. For entire nations, especially the one just east of us. No, just west of us. They can stand by and allow a 4-year-old to choose what his identity is going to be, and then allow that child to be abused. And see, this ain't no normal abuse. This abuse from which there is no return. A transgender child, if they go through that stuff, they will never be able to reproduce a child. And we got to get a view of how serious this problem is.
Yeah, we get to.
Okay, now, I applaud.
Now, if you get two parts, I got to take a break. I got to take a quick commercial break. It's 1 o'clock. It's coming up on 1 o'clock. Can you give me a call back, or you wrap up quick?
No. Anyway, I applaud the person who brought this conversation into the mainstream.
Oh, you mean Belinda?
Much needed.
You think so?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Because if this didn't come up,
but it was inevitable, though.
Being like oblivious.
No, but it's inevitable because even without Belinda talking about this, this is happening in real time on a day-to-day basis externally. So you're looking at it.
It's happening.
Yeah.
See, it's happening, right?
Yeah.
But to have the conversation brought to the public should bring a level of awareness to everybody involved, including the politicians and the pastors and the church.
Let me take this commercial break, my brother. Thank you so much for your telephone call. 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant and your company, the foundation. We're going to go to news. We're going to go to commercial, go to news, and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
It's Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
At Popeyes, we have a deal worth driving for. It's our shrimp tackle box. Taste a tender and delicious shrimp marinated in our Louisiana spices and fried up fresh and crunchy. Served with our ultimate cocktail dipping sauce, one regular side, and a warm buttery biscuit. Add a blueberry cream cheese pie or a strawberry cream cheese cup to your order. Stop by any Popeyes for your shrimp tackle box today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
We're good for you.
Shopping is so rewarding with my Fidelity credit card. I get the best prices with price protection. Earn and redeem freedom points at my favorite stores. Get cash back. Plus, I booked a cruise. Get your Fidelity credit card today. Call 356-7764.
At Bahamas Bus and Truck Company Limited, we provide vehicles known for quality and durability. From the iconic Jeep Wrangler to the award-winning Grand Cherokee, we've got your everyday driver covered. For larger tasks, our Ram 1500, Mitsubishi Fuso Canter trucks, CMC Verica vans, and Fuso Rosa jitneys do way more than just deliver. We even carry a wide variety of pre-owned vehicles. To keep you going, our parts, service department, and body shop can accommodate our brands and others. Call us today at 322-1722 or email info@bahamasbus.com.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant and your company, the foundation. right here on our 11th birthday at Guardian Radio, celebrating with you. I hope you're celebrating with us. We're so happy to be in your company and so happy that you tune us in and break the knob off. Talk to me. We're so happy to be here with you and kind of deliver you fresh news, fresh smart talk every single day. That's just one of the things that we do. And we thank you so much for being able to support us. Thank you so much for being here with us and being able to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, the lines are wide open. If you want to be a part of the conversation, please do so. Give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Hit me up on the text, 422-4796, or anywhere from the family of islands. You can just hit me up, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. You can be able to do that. Let me see if I can read one or two of these texts before we get there. Now, the conversation started off. I don't know. I'm seeing what Delton Fernanda, in his particular capacity, Bishop Delton Fernanda would have said in the papers today. Make sure you pick up your papers. We talked about that. Just being able to talk about the proposal of criminalization, the proposal to criminalize marital rape could lead to civil unions, right? And I think that's kind of a big fear in our country. Oh my God, we can't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I feel like it's a tug of war, morally, spiritually. It's a tug of war in so many instances. And then we look at our position. I had a telephone call sometime last week and say, Howard, the more that we take, if we're going to take people's money, and I kind of surmise it, if we're going to take people's money, it's our responsibility to be able to take on their position with it. It's kind of heavy, isn't it? Isn't that heavy? It's heavy that the money has a very clear implication of a spirit associated with it, that there's always something behind this money. Talk to me. There's always something behind the acceptance of money. Almost like, when our parents said, oh, that wasn't given to us in a good spirit, I don't want it. Right? You remember that? You remember we were young? No, you didn't give me that in a good spirit. I don't want that. And so there's always this kind of unspoken spiritual implication behind what goes with money. And even though they don't necessarily always make their demands up front, you know something coming, especially when the amount is significant. So let's talk about that. It says, Bahamians believe that these tourists come here because of our proximity to the U.S. and whatever, and the weather. They better wake up. It's your Christian beliefs and value systems, Bahamian. Ask the Ministry of Tourism, because statistics concerning the families who come here with Christian beliefs, people who Google us too, wake up and be careful about removing these cornerstones. These are texts coming through. I like that text. It says, Howard, it seems like we're always following agendas in the Bahamas that are against God. Our innocent, vulnerable kids don't need to be thinking about sex when they go to school. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood explained this years ago. Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. It's the end of the story, right? This is the text that coming through. This is, our government seems to be for the NWO, the New World Order. Notice all talks about digital currency. Also, the world changed the Holy Week from the 3rd and the 2nd week of April. God shows us things through the weather. Can we feel the difference today? There's a text that's coming through. Let me take a telephone call. Calling you on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Mr. Grant, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm very good, sir. You always raise very interesting topics.
Thank you, man.
I have two issues I would like to address.
Let me hear it.
I support the Speaker, Miss Patricia DeVoe, wholeheartedly. Her honesty that she has never been married, she cannot speak from persons who is married, and I want to say hats off to her. Stay in her lane, and she did that. Now, I hope she would continue to stay in her lane, but she was honest with herself that she is not qualified to talk about marriage. 1. 2, I support the great bishop, Brother Fernando. And, sir, I want to let you know, sir, that I have your back. And I want to let you know, sir, you are in a wasp nest with many of your colleagues. They are effeminate pastors who pushing this agenda. Brother Fernando, this is design, sir. This is by design from the country in the north.
I haven't seen any pastors locally pushing this agenda. Talk to me.
Okay. They are the snakes right there in the grass. And Brother Fernando knows that. They are snakes right there in the grass, and they listen to me, Brother Howard.
I listen to it.
I heard on another show where a young man of that belief said he adopted 3 children in this country last week.
Really?
In this country last week, he declared that he had 3 children that he adopted. I can't see how the world could sit back and allow these people to adopt innocent children. If that is not child abuse, Brother Howard, tell me what it is. Explain that.
Well,
I am convinced, sir, that this is by design from the feminist movement, effeminate men, and effeminate pastors. And it's all in the name of economics. Bring me the money, get the man out of the way, they could have their way. Listen to me. Listen this. There's the passion for gender equality. There's a passion for marital rape. There's a passion for transition. Where is the passion to save the family?
Yeah, I agree.
I say no more. Tell me, where is the passion in this country to save the family? We had 3 homicides this week.
Yes.
This weekend. Show me where I can find the passion to save the family. This is by design in the name of economics, and too many effeminate pastors don't want to touch the family because they have already compromised themselves. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate your telephone call. You take me all the way back. You take me back to a view of a snapshot, an aerial view of the globe. That's where you take me. You take me so far back with your conversation just now, and I ask myself, is it by design that our eyes are closed to this, or are we just playing fool like we don't know? Right? Because, sometimes our routine can take us out of clairvoyance. Our routine can cause us to be able to be pushed out of alignment with what we can actually see. Sometimes we're kind of shoved into distortion. And maybe as a result of, and that's what I feel like this is. I feel like, so my theory is that I use these devices, right? My wife doesn't like when I use the phones. I don't know why. She freaks out, right? She doesn't. Oh my God, you're always in your phone, right? Calm down, right? I'm literally studying, right? Like, I need to know some stuff. But when my son, my baby boy, the 4-year-old, when he uses the phone, I can see it different in his actions. When he uses the device, whether it's the television, a laptop, or a phone, I can always see he gets super crazy, right? Oh my God. And he answers very sharp, right? If I call him, I say, Gabriel, yes. Oh, hold on. Whoa. Excuse me? What did you say? Gabriel, yes, sir, Daddy. Okay. So now, very quickly, his immediate response superficially is very quick and knee-jerk to it, because he's seeing, like, I don't like him to watch this thing. He likes to watch this Ryan thing. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. I cut it off. The little boy rule. I don't like it. And so I realized that the devices that we have are literally devices of distortion. It's designed strategically to be able to take us away from what's happening in our day-to-day lives and cause us to be able to immerse, to be engulfed into a world, a social media world, and agree with its tenets, its principles, its pillars in this particular world that's been designed by whoever these people is behind the screen. and placed us in the position where we make decisions in our real life and reject the traditions that exist in this particular space. You took me back far with it. And the question is, are we awake to this? Or are we just simply playing along because of this hypnosis? We are hypnotized. We are in a trance in this country. And that's not a pun, and that's not transitional. We are in a trance state. We're delusional. If we don't see that this is eroding the fabric of our society, if we don't see that we're contributing, we're throwing our 2 cents. It may not necessarily be as a result of the 350-some million Americans that are making their decisions, but the 400,000 of us that exist in this space, we're contributing to the exact same thing. And the judgment won't just fall on the many. It'll fall on the few. And where is the standard bearer? That's all this is. Where is the standard bearer that says, wake up, Bahamas? Wake up. This cannot be the path that we've been called to. This is not who we've been called to. There has to come maybe we need to take a little fast. Maybe we got to take a fast. We got to take a fast and step back from the relentless ingesting of this information and understand that we have to breathe, reassess, reevaluate, and then re-engage. Let me take a next telephone call. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Brother Grant.
Hey.
I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing good, my brother. It's good to hear from you.
I was wondering if I was on because I called and I couldn't hear anything. I called the first number, then I called the other number.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't hearing anything. And when I turned on the radio, I heard one Chinese woman talk about seed donation. And this is on your station while you were talking now.
Really?
About some TV sets to the House of Assembly. And that's supposed to be...
Oh, maybe that was news. No. I didn't hear that.
Oh, I see. Because when I came to the phone again, I turned it on. That's what I was hearing. And then I heard you saying something different. So that might have been the news.
Yeah, it might have been the news.
Yeah, okay.
It's good to hear from you.
What is the standard? The standard is the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's the standard, Mr. Grant.
Okay.
That we ought to be going by.
Okay.
Now, the problem we have in this country is we have personalities that have been elected to do our national business who do not go by the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Now, see, I'm going through on another radio station this so-called Nationality Act. Okay? In fact, I knew about it just maybe a couple of weeks ago, which was passed July the 5th, to commence July the 10th, Bahamas Nationality Act. And I'm going to go through that to see even the things they say it's supposed to cover. The acquisition, the renunciation of citizenship, the deprivation of citizenship, and the certification of citizenship. I say, what the heck is this? The Constitution speaks to all of that. You don't need an act to deal with those four things. So I don't know where that came from, and that act was supposed to come into effect July the 10th. That's why I'm saying that we got to go all the way back to day one to see what went down as far as national issues are concerned in this country and what the leaders have done. We need to wade through a whole lot of information because, Brother Grant, some funny things went down from the very beginning.
I want to ask you a couple questions because I feel like our conversations, you laugh because you know where I'm going with you. You laugh because you know where we go, right? But I got to ask you some questions. Every time we talk about the Constitution, you start to talk about personalities. You start to talk about individuals who have been given the right to be able to sort of lord over us and enact the Constitution to the letter, right? But they haven't done that. I want to know from you, how do we, successive generations, identify which male or female, man or woman, has the wherewithal to be able to carry out the agenda? How do we identify these men and women and support them to put them in the position that we could see the reform that we look for in this country?
That's an excellent question. I like those kind of questions. It boils down to the character of persons you send there in the first place. We have been a poor judge of character. We have seen the evidence of what has been happening for the last 56 years and 3 months.
But every time we saw the evidence, it was only after the character that has been presented at the forefront has been eroded to get to the main objective of that individual.
Okay, fine. I'm not going to disagree with that. You're right on target with that.
Okay.
I believe we have to look a little bit deeper, Mr. Grant. You see, the thing is that we have been so politically polarized. There's a big difference between party representation and parliamentary representation. 56 years and 3 months, we ain't sorted that out yet. Because you hear people talk about, I always talk about the government of the Bahamas. There are people who talk about political parties. The Constitution speaks to both, but there's a vast difference between the two. You could have your political party, but you don't have to be the government of the Bahamas. Now, a lot of us don't understand how important that is. That has to be explained in simple, basic, fundamental language. And I'm praying to God to help me, to help my country to see it, because it's in the Constitution. We have been blinded and sidetracked, and all those comments you made just before I spoke to you, well, you were right on target. Where are we going with all of this? And that's why I said the standard is the Constitution. Everything you look at, Mr. Grant, must be looked at. That's the big mirror in the room. The Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Everything has to be analyzed in light of that, whether it's international law, all these agreements that were signed by the government of Bahamas by people who know nothing about the Constitution, unfortunately. And that's why I'm going to take it step by step. I got to look at all those things what they signed, what we sign on to and agree to. Are they constitutionally sound? You had a judge making some remarks on air, and I heard the remarks, a portion of the remarks that he said, totally unconstitutional.
So essentially,
so you have.
Hold on. Essentially,
I didn't hear you.
What I'm asking, essentially, what you're saying to me is that for you to be able to have the wherewithal, the strength, the conviction to be able to stand and execute the Constitution, you should know it first and foremost. You should know it, right? So this should be an agenda beyond being able to teach transgender information in the schools. The first thing that we should be teaching and have an institution in schools is the Constitution of the Bahamas. Talk to me about it.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. But you see now, I'm not knocking what you said. It should still be there. But Mr. Grant, we waited 56 years and 3 months. 56 years and 3 months, man, since majority rule. And it ain't there yet. I am saying to the Bahamian people, we cannot wait anymore. We have to do something. There are alternatives to that. You certainly have people who are not even interested after 56 years and 3 months. We're going on to independence now. July the 10th makes 50 years since we were an independent nation. It ain't there yet. So the Bahamian people have to make a decision, a serious one, as to whether we're going to start our 51st year not knowing the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, or we want to repeat what happened 56 years and 3 months. I certainly don't want to repeat that.
Professor, let me ask you this one question, and then I always enjoy your conversation. I truly do.
That.
You know I do. But I want to know this. I just need to know whether or not, because the Constitution for me, every time you and I have a conversation, is always paramount. It's always one of those things. But the fact is that coming from where we come from as poor black people, many of us, not all of us ain't in this bucket, but many of us are in this bucket. A lot of us have been liberated from this bucket as a result of some corruption, but nonetheless, many of us have come from this kind of a place of deprivation, right?
Yes.
And coming from that, there is a level of brokenness that we carry every step of the way. That is an unseen baggage and a weight, that proverbial monkey on our back that we can't shake, with our desire to move up a few notches and to change our legacy. We've done our best to do that. The Constitution, while you talk about it, may have to do with local law, but what is going to be able to change the law of our hearts, the law of our spirits? How do we carry ourselves and our demeanor better? Shouldn't we learn ourselves, learn our strengths, find our convictions, and then apply ourselves to this education from the Constitution, as opposed to being able to do it the next way around? Talk to me about it.
I'm not disagreeing with that comment you just made. I listened to you very carefully, you know. The Constitution tells us a nation under God. See, before we even got the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the people, even after slavery, they didn't break up the man's place, you know, they ain't raped the man's wife. They've been writing that little traits, what they had for us. And we thank God for being free. They took the shackles off us. We still got some shackles on us today now. Don't fool yourself with that.
Well, they take it off our hand, but many of our minds,
that was the physical thing. Now, the
many of our minds still
spiritual
shackled.
aspect of it is that we have to be under God, the God of the Holy Bible, the written word of God. They just celebrated Easter. They say, well, the resurrected Christ. Well, where does that fit into our national life, Mr. Grant? Is that just a ceremony or a churchy thing and that's the end of it? No. The written word of God has to be applied to our national life. We didn't want a nation without God. That's why it talks about the supremacy of God. Not a God, the supremacy of God, the God of the Holy Bible. We have to be very specific and very clear. And Mr. Grant, that means, therefore, some funny things, what some people are trying to put on us right now, we have to say no to it. N-O. No reservations whatsoever. Now, do we have leaders in government who understand the importance of that? Or are we going to have wishy-washy people who are going to allow this crap to creep in here and engulf the Bahamian people? As you said, these gadgets, and I can't disagree with your comments, because your comments are right on target. These things are designed by some people who have a different agenda. I was talking to my nephew, my oldest nephew, and I told him in no uncertain terms, I said, son, you cannot believe everything you hear. And he and I were listening to some information last night, and I was able to point out to him, being a senior man and a very seasoned one, I say, now, that's crap. This is factual. That is crap. I say, you got to be able to point it out. But you just can't accept anything and everything what I say. See, everything I look at it in the light of the Holy Bible and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's all I need. I need nothing else. So we have to understand the God of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is Jesus Christ. We have to believe in His Word, which is the Holy Bible, and we have to practice it. That would cut off all this crap. There are some things you got to tell them who got them funny things. No, we don't want it in here.
Yeah, but we
can't just accept any and everything.
But this is the issue that I'm saying to you. We have come to this juncture now where we're seeing, whilst I love Bishop Delton Fernando, there's no need to be wishy-washy in this kind of position.
I agree with you.
There's no need to be wishy-washy. There's no need to be able to genuflect to a position that goes contrary to the God that placed you where you are.
Exactly, I agree with you.
There's no need to do it. You stand and you say, no, hell no, this is where the Christian Council stands, and you have relentless support. You have relentless support under the umbrella of the Christian Council in the Bahamas that says, we agree with this particular position. But if you have some pastors, whether it be from different religions, different denominations, so forth and so on, who's saying, well, we see things a little different, then this is where the issue comes in, a lack of conviction. And that is where this kind of a wishy-washy thing is. And I think that we're washed. We're washed with it in the country. We can't take it no more. where our leaders are. Where are you going to stand up? Our political leaders are not standing strong. The spiritual leaders are not standing strong. The persons in the school who are leading our schools are not standing strong. Where are the leaders going to stand strong in this country? No one's giving us strong information as results as it relates to the economics for the country and the direction it's going to take. We're going to know. And so we have this issue in this country where persons are just wishy-washy and trying their best to retain a job. That's all it is. Everyone just, child, I'm just trying to hold on to my job. I got to pay. COVID was horrible, and I don't want to go through that again. And that is causing us to go to hell in a handbasket.
Mr. Grant, what you said is 100% correct. I have no disagreement with anything that you just said, because that's the truth. That's the way it is. And I told my nephew that last night. We have to find men and women of character.
That's it.
And they are here in the Bahamas.
They're scared, though.
But are we afraid to say it the way they say? I'm one of them fellas who
everybody afraid to lose
because
weight.
You have to take on the government of the Bahamas because of their wishy-washy stand.
Everyone's afraid to lose weight. Many persons are, watch me, they are being fed by the proverbial tentacles of any political organization or any particular administration, and as they feed them, they get their fill on their stomachs, they continue to be able to think. Their legs are webbed at this particular point, and they ingest relentlessly from these tentacles. And so when it's time to stand and fight and stand up and speak, they say, well, listen, I'm going to have to step back on this particular one. Professor, I appreciate your telephone call, man. Thank you so very kindly.
Mr. Grant, what you were saying, Mr. Grant, I have to agree with you 100%. This first time me and you agreeing.
You're a decent man. I always agree with you, I always agree with you, but I just got to push back on some things.
When you talk sense, and it's constitutionally sound. See, you ain't gonna never get me to ever disagree with the Constitution.
I appreciate it, my brother.
I don't care what nobody says.
Yes, sir.
The Prime Minister can say what he likes.
Yes.
If he says anything that's contrary to the Constitution, I will be the first one to publicly say it live on radio.
Yes, sir.
Because I have access to radio.
Yes, sir.
And let him know he's wrong
Yes,
and
sir.
where he is wrong.
Yes, sir.
When he went talking to those Haitian pastors, you ain't talking to the Bahamian people, you talking to Haitian pastors.
Which is wild to me. W-I-L-D,
It is wild.
all
Yes,
caps.
it is wild. And we have to tell him, Mr. Prime Minister, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to just sit back and be mum? Not Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That ain't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got plenty pigeons under me who are looking for a great future in this country.
Yeah.
And I say your granduncle and your great-granduncle and your uncle ain't going to let you down.
Thank you, my
Just
brother.
as simple as that.
I appreciate your telephone call,
Yeah,
my brother.
thank you, Brother Grant, and
Absolutely.
all the best to you as you move forward.
Yes, sir. Same to you. Thank you so kindly, man. Always looking forward to your telephone calls. You know, it's important that we take the time out to look at these things and talk the way that we do. You know, some people call me and say, "Boy, how would you're saying these people can have a hard time with you?" Okay, Howard, boy, you got to watch yourself. You got to feed your family. Man, come on, man. I just don't understand this. Honest to God, survival in this country is not easy. And thriving in this country is another thing. I think it's a distortion. I think the perception of thriving in this country is distorted. I think you're trying to confuse me. Many persons are lying to me when they present themselves in a particular manner as though they're thriving. I could see the tentacles. Stop it. Stop it. I could see that you're not a made man. You're not here by yourself. You didn't pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Your proximity and your relentless fading and being able to beg alms from your political forefathers and so forth and so on, who has always strategically placed you in positions to ensure that you could carry information back to them when they need it, has given you the opportunity to be useful. And as a result of this usefulness, you're living a comfortable life. But it's not devoid of the fact that you are a Secret Service agent. Let's just be very clear about this. Let's be clear about the thing. Let's not shoot straight. You are out here being a mobile Freedom of Information Act. That's what you are. That's what you do. You're providing this information, and the only time that we could hear this information that comes to the forefront when it ends up in some proverbial political garbage can. That you provided it. You stuff it in this can. So let's talk about this. All right? There is no conviction in this country. Everybody's scared. Everybody's scared. Victimization is the forerunner of the day. Everybody's scared. Every single soul. Come on, man. And don't knee-jerk react to it. Don't knee-jerk it. Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. BPL has come every 30 days. Ask yourself the question. You got to pay BTC, you got to pay Alive every 30 days. Ask yourself this question. For you to be able to get your hair cut, ask yourself these questions. And if you're surviving off of one of the proverbial tentacles of any particular administration, whether the one that had just left or the one that is in now, then you are not in a position to speak. And if you can't speak, you definitely can't stand. So you want to convince everyone around you that, you know, you let child, we got to leave it alone because that's just, it is what it is. You want us to succumb to the idea that it is what it is, but the spirit of the Bahamian people, that resilience that exists in us, says to us, there's got to be more to this. Got to be. This cannot be why I was born, to be a slave. That's all this is. All we doing is surviving and pacing to death. How many of us can really say that we have accomplished our dreams? I never imagined leaving my island, which is wild. There's great exploration out there. But having to leave my space to survive, I have to question some things. Let's take one more telephone call and then go to a commercial break. Calling on the line with us live, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Grant.
Good afternoon, my brother.
That was sobering. You know, Mr. Grant, the congruence, I mean, I know you was talking about the pastors and the congruence and the lack of opposition from these religious entities, the disunity within the religious community. We should be hearing a greater outcry on this transgender and transhumanism schism, right? Now, when you have the alignment of church and state, Richard Constantine had monopolized on that. So I knew that from history, from time immemorial, right? When you have the alignment of church and state, that's a dangerous situation as far as democracy. We have heard the former PM said that he would have to infringe on our constitutional rights, right? Given the fact that, you know, we know they was always signing on to this and signing on to that. And so when you look at, if you sit back afar, aerial view, panoramic view, whatever, and then you look at 190-something leaders walk up a red carpet, whether it was the COP2 or whatever, 27, in the Vatican City during the pandemic. It was a red carpet where world leaders walked up and signed onto one book. And then you would juxtapose that to Revelation, which it says that he would make them to be of one sound mind, and they would lend power to the beast. And so this is quite clear, because you see the congruence, and then you see all of the signing on. So this is quite clear. And so the global agenda and the impositions that we see, right, and the puppet masters that are driving them, they are overt now. And so Benjamin Dawes is on from them time and from his Malcolm time. I was always talking about transhumanism, and there was an article that appeared in the New York Wall Street Journal, which was, it said, looking forward to the end of humanity. And it was on Google, and I read it, and I was frightened because anyone could go and read the narrative. It's looking forward to the end of humanity, Wall Street Journal. This would have been like 2020, and there's a lot of transhumanistic narratives in there. And I posted it on my chats with other people many times, and I've said it on The Guardian, that they said that transhumanism, their agenda is for transhumanism to replace religion and bringing them all like apotheosis of man. And so then what they're saying is, these are, in the revolution of the mind, you will be seeing the leader on the screen. They're creating an Orwellian society. You said that people are afraid to talk because in the Orwellian society, you know, speaking the truth would be a revolutionary act. I was developing down antibody-dependent enhancement and pathogenic priming, and lo and behold, I noticed now they have these narratives before you read it, before you even go and read what you want. They say why the internet got it wrong about these two particular searches. So this is what they're sensing us right out of our mind. But let me give you an idea of how far they are ahead of us as far as this transgenderism. Okay, we didn't realize that Ernie and Bert, right, were two men living together, slowly, subconsciously implanting into the black male's psyche to accept two men living together. Then we saw Ashra Crazy come about less than a decade later, showing you the fact that from preschool they was trying to get American citizens, children to get used to two mommy and two daddy in the homes. Okay? Yes. And so then we saw previously, before that, there was the $6 million man, because I'm a little older than you, right? And so then that shows me that they were always thinking about merging human and machine. And now they have the biodigital paradigm. So it's basically all about control. I think the gentleman was called about the family structure, but people say money, but it's basically they already have enough money to live the rest of their lives with their family to go on until whatever they think eternity. But they're not about money. This is about control, and I was saying it from day one. When I said they wanted to connect us to the internet years ago with Leon Bedlam on the radio and Ms. Malcolm, so they laughed at me. But what I'm saying is, this is humanity, a free humanity is under attack. And so, like I was speaking with a very learned friend, and so he was saying, this is an analogy, the fire, let's say I say the fire, and then you'll have some people run to get, to solve the try, put the fire out, but some people will run away from the fire, not knowing that they could run into something worse than the fire. There's no escaping this tyranny, this global imposition. There's no escaping these things with congruence. Blind obedience will lead to more tyranny. That's what I was trying to show the masses. But the thing is, the schism and the political polarization enhanced by political goons, dupes, coonies, whatever. Supper singers, right, Howard? Yeah, this is what is going to proliferate the problem. So who benefits at the end of the day? When I was on the radio saying third world leaders are myopic and short-sighted and gonadless, this is what you're seeing. We got some of them standing up, but not everybody. Not every preacher is in congruence with this particular model either.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but, where are we at? Just see, it's designed for us to point the fingers at one another, Howard.
Yeah.
It's the globalists already set up their world in which they knew lot sizes, streets, panopticism was a part of their ideology, how they would surveillance the population. They was only waiting to get the technology in that state. They always wanted to control and create a panopticon of surveillance. All right, let me give you a perfect example of what, back in the cowboy days, as you might be a little old, you used to watch the cowboy movie, right, Howard?
Yeah, I used to watch cowboy.
But when a cowboy's ride into the town, what you would see? You would see everybody stop sweeping and doing business, and they'll look at these strangers coming in, right?
On the horse, yeah.
Yeah, and so the dog would bark and all.
Yeah.
And so they don't need the people to look. They get up the cameras and everything to look. Almost infinitively through algorithms. Give thanks, man.
I appreciate your telephone call, man. Always like that. Always like your perspective and your view. Guys, give me a call. 323-623-234-325-425-9. Anywhere for the family of islands, you can hit me up 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720, or hit me up on the text 422-4796. 96.9 FM radio. We're going to take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
Foundation.
The Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
Make your morning sizzle with breakfast from Burger King Nassau. Enjoy not one, but two delicious sausage and cheese croissant sandwiches made just for you for only $5.75 including VAT. This breakfast classic is made with Burger King's savory sizzling sausage and melted American cheese on that classic buttery croissant you love. So say hello to Sizzlin' Mornings at Burger King with two sausage and cheese croissant sandwiches for only $5.75 including VAT. Only at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
Ready to step into the future? From your front door to the backyard and everywhere in between. See and speak to whoever's there with Ring Video doorbells and security cameras now available at Alive. Protect what matters most, all from one easy app. Available in your Google or Apple Play Store. Visit bealive.com/ring to learn more. We are alive.
MyGateway is the centralized, safe, secure way to access and pay for government services online. Go to mygateway.gov.bs and log in to request a police character certificate, renew your passport or driver's license, and more. Receive emails confirming requests and alerts when documents are ready. You must have a valid, government-issued ID in order to collect documents. MyGateway is fast, easy, and convenient. Go to mygateway.gov.bs and register today.
Divania's grilled food and products are now open in the Kenneth Plaza, Prince Charles Drive. Come, you must try the jerk chicken, jerk pork, and all their amazing grilled food. Grilled daily to perfection using all their amazing sauces made right here in the Bahamas. Divania's, grilling good food for life. Call or WhatsApp Divania's today at 817-4468.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, right here on 96.9 FM, chopping it down. Listen, let me read a few of these texts so we can be able to get through this. He says, Howard, our government seems to be, we read that one already. I got a lot of these texts, y'all, forgive me, let me just kind of go through it. So it says, Howard, I'm apprehensive about the audio-visual equipment that we've just been donated. It says we should only use the donated equipment in low-level, non-sensitive security facilities. This information is coming through. Yes, I made significant modifications to your text just now in the spirit of decency and order. Amen? But, I read it nonetheless, right? So it says spiritual implications and the church is silent. Yes. It says, God shows us through the weather how long has the texter been alive. Have they ever heard the phrase April showers? It's rainy season. It will rain. There's a text that's coming through. So it says, Howard, don't let little man watch Sesame Street. It's total darkness. No, I haven't watched Sesame Street for a very long time, right? It says, Howard, it's amazing how many Bahamians think that a man pretending his wife. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I didn't say pretending. Let me fix this. This is Howard. It's amazing how many Bahamians think a man penetrating his wife against her will is somehow okay. The Speaker of the House is a coward. And all others who won't say that marital rape exists is wrong. And somehow okay with God. This is a text that's coming through. This is a wild thing. This year I'm celebrating 20 years married. I don't know, people say, oh my God, congratulations. I never understand. But, I kind of go with it because it's like a social thing to do. Say, oh my God, how much years are you celebrating? 52 years? Oh my God, congratulations, you did it. You survived. I don't know. Is that what we say? Is that what you mean? Right? Okay. So 20 years, right? And on this 20th year, I've learned a lot of things. I got married very young. I got married at the height of my, the strength of my libido. Talk to me. Let's just be very clear and be decent, right? The ferocity, the ferocious nature of my youth, it was evident. Amen. I got married during this time. I was 22 years old, and during this time of marriage, I was fortunate to be able to marry someone that I truly loved. Some people just get married because they need companionship. They get married because they need relationship. They get married because they need a co-signer in the bank. Talk to me. Like, let's shoot straight. We decent. We black people. You want a house. You can't afford it on your half a salary. You need one more. You need the next piece. All right, cool. So I was fortunate enough to, before all of this was even entered into the picture, I got married because I love the woman. You always hear me talk about the woman. I love the woman, right? But in the midst of marriage, the one thing that men are not is God. And so that sense of consistency, that sort of the same today, yesterday, and tomorrow, that's not man. And it's definitely not a woman, right? And so my wife, whether it be Rao Day or whether it be emotions or whether it be whatever it is, if she decides that she don't want, because I just do the little poke thing, just a little poke, just to see if you're alive. Hey, baby, how you doing? You all right? That's like a 4 o'clock in the morning poke. Just, hey, baby, you all right? If she hit me back, then I say, okay, let me leave that alone. Let me leave her alone, right? Because I'm sure that one day out of 7, you can be all right. Don't worry about that. I never fight no one for their things. That's one of the things I always put in my children, my sons, even the 4-year-old. I need you to understand a few things. When a woman says stop, stop. When a woman says no, no. Don't allow yourself to become so consumed and drunk with desire and lust that you have to take of the people's flesh. Talk to me. I try to be decent when I try to structure these things on this radio. And so in the 20 years that I've been married, only most recently in the past decade or so, there has been this sort of a conversation about the fact that marital rape is a thing. But when it was introduced, I was like, marital rape is a thing? You just got to say, you ain't got to fight nobody for their dicks. And then we hear some crazy men say things like, I can't never rape myself, or I can rape myself, which is a wild thing to say. If your wife says no, no is no. I don't know your relationship. I don't know you and your wife. I don't know if you have to kind of pinch her in her ribs and tell her that I don't know if that's how she does open sesame. I don't know. But I know one thing. Rape is rape. Whether she like you or don't like you, you're around when she don't around. A woman say no. No is no, for God's sake. Whether you're 65 or you're 16, no is no. If you get enough no's, simple mathematics would indicate to you the duration and the ratio of man to woman on the island of Nassau, women outweigh men significantly. Therefore, there is significant reserves for you, sir. Amen? Oh, I just try to let you know something. If the woman said no, no is no. See, and I always had this thing, because I always been bigger than people, bigger than women, right? And I don't ever want to, oh my God, Howard, get off of me. I don't ever want that. Jesus, he almost killed me. I don't ever want that. So I always had to lead with my words, with my charm, with the convincing to say that this is what you come here for. Amen. And then we take on this kind of a very consensual something. So if anyone is saying anything other than that, that's what it is. And don't mind these women saying, oh, no, my husband can't rape me. Many times the woman said to her husband, no, and he complied. That's why you could feel liberated to say that you could speak this about your husband, because he complies. But for them, those men that don't comply, sir, anyway, am I getting into your business? Wolf Road written on y'all. Let's take a telephone call. Caller on the line. Go ahead.
Johnson, 3 quick points. I know you're having a talk show, but I thought I'd draw some thought. I got a solution for you at the end of this voice point before I go on to the other two. I'm saying you could forcibly have sexual contact with somebody you're married to, but there is no force in marriage. we use the two words interchangeably. Married and marriage. Marriage is a definition of harmony existing between two individuals and understanding. This is where the conversation comes in when the church and the people saying that they don't want to address the laws that's over 100 years old. We had a lawyer on your show to explain that these laws have not been updated to give no-fault divorces and a whole host of different things. An argument that the Queen Monroe made that, then you should remove the excuses for, the reasons for divorce and everything else. So everybody wants things to be different but remain the same. And that's the problem we're having. Because if we update the laws, the minute the marriage breaks down, then you could still be married, but you could be protected. You don't need this whole discussion with changing anything. Just change the laws that allow for separation and all this other different things. The excuses that the feminists make that, but they don't have nowhere to go. You're trying to tell me that you're being raped and abused and whatever, and you would remain where you are, and so that's the reason to pass this law, so you can remain where you are. But that's a whole different thing. That's a conversation we'd have. But Howard, to fix your problem, TGIF. Okay? It works all the time.
What you mean, thank God it's Friday?
No, tongue goes in first.
Listen, Ciala, let me go. Ciala, BM, you need to stop it, right? Go ahead.
But the transhumanism work, right? It's a kind of an interdisciplinary field that includes philosophy, science, engineering, social science.
Ciala, you see the time, right? I got 28 seconds.
I'm a transhumanist. But when we begin to talk about this whole concept, 52 is right. But we need to look right now on how artificial intelligence and the global change is happening, on how we can improve the payment economy. This is an opportunity that has never presented itself for the next 50 years. Okay, but we'll talk again.
Thank you, my brother. I can't take no more telephone calls. It says, Howard, I just want to correct the caller. The young gay man is referring that he didn't legally adopt the children. The LGBT community, there are persons who look up to the others in the community for advice and guidance, and in return, those persons are looked at as mother or father. A bond is formed, and as a result, they become a family outside the biological family. This is a text that's coming through. All right, so it says, let me see if we can read this. It says, sir, you need to help that gentleman. He said that he heard a judge making comments that were wrong, and you did not ask him to clarify. Why would you allow him to say that the judge was incorrect on him? All right. I didn't recall. Maybe I wasn't listening to that. Forgive me. Right. So it says, Howard, we need to get real, do a show on if the Bible is an actual history book. Also, the Christian Council is founded by the government. And that is a toothless tiger. Guys, that's the show for today. I want to thank you so much for being able to tune in. I was a little bit slow today. You got to be able to forgive me. I was just trying to catch myself over this kind of a cold. But I'm so happy to be able to get with you and really chop it down. I'm supposed to have a very good conversation tomorrow with you guys. Tomorrow is a roundtable conversation. We're going to get into the economics in one way or the other. So if I don't get my guest, I'm going to get someone else to have a good conversation about the social economics, what's happening through the big three engines here in the country, Grand Bahama, Nassau, and Abaco, to see exactly where we're going and have a good conversation going forward. I thank you so very kindly for being able to tune in with us today, 96.9 FM radio. Guys, please stick and stay for Zhivago Line with Z Live right after this. Have a beautiful day, guys.
Foundation.